What's up, YouTube fam? It's your girl Kay, and I am back with another video. So this video has been more than like prolonged. I just couldn't find the way to make this video, and it's taken like a lot of healing to be able to sit here and make this video for you guys. So viewer discretion is advised. If you're not okay with like sentimental feelings or just people crying or me expressing my feelings, this is not the video for you. But for those who have asked me to drop this video, for my followers who've been with me on this journey, then you guys know it's not a good one for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy one. So first and foremost, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a video, and make sure you're following all my social media so you're in tune with my content. Today is October 10th. It is a day before my daughter's 1 year death anniversary. My daughter passed away last year, October 11th. And I hadn't given you guys a like autopsy report, only because it did take almost a year for me to get it back. I just got it about 2 months ago. So that was part of the reason. And then once I did get it, I didn't know if that was something that I wanted to put out there for the public or for everyone to see, just because it's something so private. But then I also understand that like being a social media influencer, that's kind of things that come with it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to make this video regardless of the fact. And so I chose today only because I didn't want the year to pass by and I still hadn't dropped the video for you guys. So you guys will be seeing this, if not October 10th, you guys will be seeing it tomorrow, October 11th, which is my daughter's death anniversary. So just a little backstory for you guys that are new. I was pregnant with twin girls, right? So I gave birth to twin girls February 25th of 2023. They were die-dyed twins, meaning that they're fraternal. Each baby was in their separate sac. My babies were born at 27 weeks. They were considered micro preemies. They were a little under a pound each. They did about 4 months in the NICU. They didn't really have a lot of complications in NICU other than a PDA, which is like a little hole in your heart, but it gets closed off with medication. During the first month, my daughter Kaylani, which is my daughter who passed away, she contracted bacteria in her feeding tube and was in isolation. So she was like in an isolation NICU, whereas my daughter Kayleen was in her own public NICU with other babies and stuff like that. They did come out of the NICU at the same time. Again, they didn't have any crazy like bacterias or infections or anything like that while they were there. The only thing, obviously, because they were preemies, they did use the CPAP to be able to breathe because their lungs were not fully developed. Fast forward, my daughters did 4 months in the NICU. After the 4 months, they were able to come home. They came home together. Everything was pretty smooth for the first 2 months of them coming back. When Kehlani turned about 6 months, she had her first seizure. And so her first seizure kind of caught me by surprise because it wasn't something that I was prepared for. Like I just thought, you know, she came home from the NICU, she's prepared to go, she should be fine. But no, she had her first seizures at 6 months. And her seizure lasted about maybe 5 seconds. But I don't know if you guys are familiar with seizures, but whenever you do have a seizure, it does leave brain damage, or it can leave brain damage. So we were scared of that, took her immediately to the emergency room. They had her in the pediatric intensive unit. She had another seizure at the ER, so they gave her like anti-seizure medications to help with her seizures. If she did have another one, then we'd be able to prevent it. Her seizure medication ran out 30 days after. She didn't have a refill on her prescription, so it was just kind of to treat her for that moment. It wasn't something that she was going to be with for the rest of her life because she wasn't diagnosed with epilepsy. So it's month number 8, which is October. In October, this is like October 10th, which would have been like a day just like today. October 10th, I was recording for my TikTok channel, and I was doing like some YouTube videos for you guys. I think I even did like carving the pumpkin with the kids, and I uploaded it on here for you guys as well. That night, I was like, I cannot go to sleep. Nothing would knock me out. Like I was up, and at that time I was still in college still. So I was doing my college work. I had gave the girls the bottles. And they slept in separate bassinets, so I put their bassinets right beside each other. And I'm like, okay, they are sleeping, you know what I'm saying? Like, now I can be an adult. I turned on some TV, and I was doing some homework. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and Kayleen starts crying, which is the twin that I have. Kayleen starts crying, and I check on her. She's doing good. I look at Kaylani. Kaylani's sleeping, so I don't think nothing of it. I just go back to sleep. I lay down, and I go to sleep. Yeah, I go to sleep like I would have any other night, right? And so when I fell asleep, it was around like 3:30 in the morning. At 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have custody of my youngest sister. So my youngest sister, like, she's always helped me out with my kids, right? So she goes in there and she goes to check up on the girls, because she'll usually like let me get about like an hour of sleep before they have to go to school, because she knows like I'd be exhausted up with the girls the whole night. So she went in there to check on the girls like she normally would. And whenever she did go check on my daughter, the one closest to the door was Kaylani, and the one furthest from the door was Kayleen. So she checked on Kaylani, and she just like wakes me up, right? So she wakes me up with Kaylani, and she's like, she's not like, you know what I'm saying? She's not alive. She's not breathing. She's cold. So at that moment, like, imagine I'm just waking up to this. So I look and I'm freaking out. Like, I can't even breathe, literally. And like, I immediately go and give her CPR, because, you know, we just learned this in the hospital. So I'm giving her CPR. And as I'm giving her CPR, I notice that she starts to bleed from her nose. So I freak out and I stop touching her. And this whole time we're already on the phone with fire rescue and stuff like that. And I just remember like just crying and just like praying to God, you know, like, let her be okay. And I don't know, it's something about like a mom's cry. That shit is so distinctive. Like, you can never like confuse that for anything else. And I had that cry, like, of just like desperate, like being desperate and wanting an answer, and just wanting her to be okay, and just wanting her to wake up. So when the ambulance came and took her, I had like just a little bit of hope, you know. I was like, okay, hold on, you guys, sorry. So when the ambulance came, I still had like a little bit of hope, and I was like, you know, there's a possibility that they can bring her back. You know, I knew she was gone. So I'm literally like butt naked when the ambulance come, because I sleep naked. So I put on a robe and I go to the hospital. I go to the ambulance. Mind you, I live maybe like 3 minutes away from the hospital. They took it to Jackson Memorial Hospital, which was like literally like 2 minutes down the road from my house. They stick her in the car. I'm riding in the front seat, and I'm just like praying so hard, like, God, please. Like, I can't do this, you know, I can't go to this again. So whenever we do get to the hospital, they perform, you know what I'm saying, their CPR, all that stuff that they do to try to bring her back. And I had a chaplain from the hospital come in and pray with me, and he was just telling me, like, you know, she's gonna be okay, she's gonna be okay, she's gonna be okay. The doctor comes in and he's like, yeah, we tried, but there's nothing that we could have done to bring her back. And so at that point, like, you know what I'm saying, there's just so many feelings like going through my mind at one time. And so they brought her to me, they laid her down, put the sheet over her, tucked her in real nice, and I stayed there with her for about like 30 minutes. But I don't know if it's just me, but I can't see stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Especially a baby that I gave birth to, that I nurtured, that I was with since she was born, you know what I mean? So just looking at her, I didn't want to remember her that way. I didn't want to see her like that. So I spent about 30 minutes with her. I could have been in there more, I just chose not to. I was there for about 30 minutes, and Another like grievance group came in and they did her little footprints, which I'll show you guys later on in this video when I show you where I have her ashes and stuff. I'll show you that. So at this point, investigators come in because since she did pass away in my house, they treated it as if it were a criminal investigation, just to make sure like there's no foul play. So they did come into my house, they took pictures, they treated it as a crime scene. Even though like I had, you know what I'm saying, I had nothing to do with my daughter's passing, but they just still treated like that. So the cops brought me home. And when I got home, there was already like a DCF case manager at my house asking us questions, asking my kids questions. And like I can see like everyone's face was just like they were feeling for me, you know. And I just like, I didn't want anything. Like I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to be awake. I was just like blank. Like I had no emotions, like literally just like no emotions whatsoever. I remember sitting in my balcony because I lived in a building and just looking at the sky and just crying. And a lot of my neighbors came out and like asked me what happened and just kind of like just giving me their support and stuff like that because they could hear me like screaming in that morning. And, like, we heard you, like we knew something was wrong. So yeah, so all of that blew over eventually and we still didn't have answers. Like I said, we just got answers from the autopsy about 2 months ago. And in her autopsy, it stated that she passed away from a respiratory infection, also known as RSV. So whenever they did leave the hospital, we were advised that they should be taking shots for RSV or to help with RSV, but my daughters weren't of weight. I think they had to be like 7 pounds to get the shot, and Kaylani was like 5 pounds, and Kayleen was about 5 pounds too. So they still needed a little bit more to get there. Their appointment was on October 16th, and Kaylani passed on October 11th, so she didn't even make it to that appointment. Kayleen did, she has all her shots already for the RSV, but Kaylani never made it. So that's what they labeled it as. She passed from RSV. She passed in her sleep. There was nothing like, I don't know, I just said like, whenever I was like thinking, you know, saying for that time being, I was like, damn, like I wish I would have heard her cry, or I wish I would have heard her cough or choking, or, you know what I'm saying, something where I feel like I could have helped, you know what I'm saying, with the fact that she just passed in her sleep, but there was nothing that I could have ever done to stop that or prevent that. I think that was kind of my fear too, getting back the autopsy report and letting it be something that I had control of, I think would also be devastating and would have pushed my mourning process back for sure. If it would have been something like her having a seizure in her sleep and I didn't catch it, I probably would have blamed myself for being asleep. And it's just so crazy how things happen because I could not sleep that day. There was nothing I could have done to go to sleep. Like I was literally tossing and turning all night. I was watching TV. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I shut my eyes. So my daughter passed from 3 in the morning to 6 in the morning. That was her passing time. I do have some things that I wanted to show you guys from Kaylani. I have like this little, like, I call it my life album. It's just like an album with all the baby stuff. It's just some stuff. And this is actually my second baby I lose. So my first baby, yeah, it was hard. My son's name is Hero Dylan. He passed away in March of 2022. But he passed from natural causes, you know. And I never got to meet him. I never got to know what his eyes looked like open. So it was more so that I was mourning because I didn't know. And so like with my daughter, it's more so like, damn, like I was able to enjoy that. Like I was able to see her laugh. I was able to see her giggle. I was able to see her like lift up her tummy so I can pick her up. I knew what she sounded like when she was crying. And so it's more so like just missing that and just wanting that, you know. It's a different hurt. One doesn't take away from the other, but it's definitely different. So here I have her hospital bands, the hat she wore when she was born, and it's just some of her weight information and her length and stuff like that, and also her certificate of graduation from the NICU. So this is that. That's it. That's it there. Boom. And then this is her certificate from the NICU. This is when I found that I was pregnant. I kept the pregnancy test. And you know what I find so crazy? I feel like nothing anybody will ever do affects me, but when it comes to my kid, it just affects me so much. Like anything concerning my kids, and my kids are my downfall, you know what I mean? So I wanted babies more than anything in this world. So I'm the oldest out of 5 kids. But like, I don't know, growing up, I went through a lot of neglect and a lot of like guilt, and just like, I was basically like the black sheep in my family always. Like, it's always been like that. And just like growing up with so many insecurities, and like my mom, you know what I'm saying, being on drugs and stuff like that kind of affected me too, where I felt like, okay, when I grow up, I want something for myself that no one can ever like take away from me. And so kids were that for me. That was my security. Like, I didn't have to do life alone anymore, you know what I'm saying? And I had this beautiful thing that I created, and I get to nurture, and I get to teach, and I get to be a better mom, you know what I mean? And so like, I just always wanted kids. Like, I wanted my kids more than anything. My first kid was my son. And after I had him, I didn't get pregnant for 4 years. And I got pregnant with twins when I did. In 2022, I got pregnant with my first set of twins, a boy and a girl, Kenya and Hero. Hero passed. And I was like, I don't want to tie my tubes yet. I want a boy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a boy. So I didn't tie my tubes. Little did I know I was going to get pregnant with twins again. And so I'm happy that I was able to experience being a twin mom, because I want it more than anything. Yes, I wish it would have lasted longer. I miss everything. I miss my routine. I miss waking up to them screaming at the top of their lungs, having to race and change one's diaper to give the other one the bottle. I just miss everything about it. But I am grateful that I was able to experience that and get a taste of what it would have been like. But yeah, so here's here's a pregnancy test. And that's me and their daddy. I kind of make this book for my kids too. I'm pretty sure my kids are gonna go through this one day. Let's see if I have anything else here that I wanted to share with you guys. These are their ultrasounds, Kayleen and Kaylani. That's their ultrasounds and their hospital bracelets. This is their newborn identification, so like kind of like their ID for the hospital with their footprints. And this is actually Kayleen's onesie. And then Kaylani had the same one. It's gonna be on the flip side. And that's Kaylani's onesie. That's pretty much all I have. I do have other things that they gave me, like I have the outfit that she passed away in. I also have the outfit they put on her when she passed away, because they can't, I got my daughter cremated. So I have like the outfit she had on before they cremated her. I have her ashes as well. I kind of did her ashes a little bit different than I did my son's. My son's are still in the box. His are not in an urn. But hers, she has half in a box, half in an urn, because she was a bigger baby. And I kind of just have them like put up where they can, you know, anybody can see them when they come in. And it took me a long time to do that, actually. I didn't start to like embrace their ashes in a sense until I got my daughter's autopsy report. So I kind of just kept her pictures in the closet, her ashes in the closet. I didn't want to see them. I didn't know how to face that. Like anytime I opened my closet door, it was just like crying. Like it was like uncontrollable crying. Like I couldn't, like I literally could not look at her ashes. And so I think it's also helped me to mourn better and cope better with all of this. Like just being able to like know she's here, you know what I mean? And I miss her more than anything in this whole world. life has a funny way of showing you things, you know. And if you take anything from this video, just hold on to your loved ones and let them know that you love them, because you never know when it's gonna be their turn or your turn, you know what I mean? And one thing in life we don't get back is time. But I'm grateful for the kids that I have, the ones that are living, and I'm grateful for being a part of the ones that are gone. They're forever in my heart, both of my kids, and one day we'll meet again, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the little setup that I have for the both of them. If you guys got to the end of this video, drop some black cards in the comments for me. Make sure you guys like this video, share it out. I know a lot of you guys wanted this video so bad, so I was like, I have to make this video. Even if I didn't want to make the video, I knew it was something I had to do. I appreciate everybody who in this past year has reached out to me in one form or another, who donated when I did the GoFundMe for my daughter, who just like has been just like supportive through this whole thing. I don't know how I would be able to do it without you guys. My supporters have been probably the biggest support I've had. Like, so many like sleepless nights, you know. I've been able to sit on TikTok with you guys and talk and distract myself. So I really do appreciate you guys for that. I'm good now. I cried because I'm human, and because obviously it still hurts, and it's literally about to be a year tomorrow. It feels like an eternity. It feels like an eternity. The days are long, the nights are long. I hardly sleep. I'm a little bit better with like the PTSD part of all this, but I had maybe about 7 months of like not sleeping and like watching my daughter like a hawk at night, making sure nothing happened to her. Now I think I found peace within, and I kind of, you know, I talk to God, take care of my baby so I can sleep, you know. So it's kind of helped out too. But yeah, if you guys got to the end of this video, make sure you guys give this video a big fat thumbs up, share with your friends, those who know me. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna show you guys a little setup really quick, and then we'll close off the video. Alright, you guys, this is obviously an overwhelming video for me, but we made it. We made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for the immense support. Again, I don't even know how to thank you guys anymore. You guys have been great. My top supporters, Melanie, Redbone, Kit Kat, those people, Yvonne, Tay, Tati, Shay, Marie, everybody. Like, I don't even know how to thank you guys anymore. Thank you guys so much for just everything. Baby mama, everybody who's been in my live stream and just supporting me through all of this, whether it's like through a message or financial. You guys are the fucking best, and I don't know how the hell I'd be able to do this without you guys. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.